Guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about my industrial piercings. So I'm going to tell you guys all the deets, the cost, the healing, the process, the everything, the pain. So first I'm going to tell you guys the backstory of my piercing. So when I turned 16, I started seeing like a lot of people with the piercing. So I'm like, that looks really nice. I think it would look good on my face. Like, you know, it would just compliment me. So I asked my mother, and my mom was like, no. My mom was like, no, she's not signing for it. And if I wanted it, I have to wait till I'm 18. So guess what we did? We waited till we was 18. I never played college volleyball, so that was like out the picture. So I had nothing holding me back. So school was starting, basically. It was like my second week of school. And I'm like, I kind of want that piercing. I got my piercing in September. If you guys live on Long Island, you guys know the famous shop. Everybody knows the shop if you're from Long Island. Got my piercing, and boy, that is the background story of like, you know, me wanting the piercing stuff. Because, you know, of course I gotta tell you guys because, you know, my southern family, it's just, I'm not getting anything without a fight. Next I'm gonna tell you is talk about the actual process, like the actual piercing process. Honestly, me, like, I'm never like nervous, like needles don't bother me, like I'm not afraid of any of those things, but like the anxiety of just waiting, like me, I just want to get it over with. That's why like I'm more of a piercing person than a tattoo, because a tattoo you have to sit through it. And like versus a piercing is just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. My anxiety is starting to build up. Like I'm literally like about to vomit. I'm like getting lightheaded. I'm like, can I just get this over with? He starts explaining the process of the ear piercing. Was like, this is like a very, like this is not like an easy piercing, you know, like this is one extreme, something you gotta take care of. It takes a while to heal, it's painful, and I'm just like, I'm ready for it. Just give it to me. I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. He lays me back and then he asks me, how do I want my piercing? Okay guys, so this is about to get close and personal so I can explain it to you guys. So my piercer asked me which way do I want the piercing, because the piercing could go 2 ways. It can either go, oh my god, it's blurry. It can either go slanted like this, like downwards, or you can get it more like upwards kind of. So, you know, from here or like from this way. So I was like, I don't know, you're the piercer, whatever you think looks best, you know, or as long as it's on this side of my face, then we're good. I don't really care. And he kept explaining the slanted will probably look better because my ear is smaller. Like, you know, some people have bigger ears, so if they get it straight across, it won't really look bad on them. But he was like, oh, I think slanted looks better on you because your ear is smaller, but I still have to ask because some people with small ears still like it like straightforward kind of. So I'm like, no. He did the bottom first. He was like, okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. My heart drops. And then boom, he just sticks it in. Because he's quick with it, and you know, the slower you take, the more it's gonna hurt. It doesn't bother me, I just feel my ear throbbing, and I just like had a sense of relief. So then he's like, okay, we're about to start the second hole. Because if you guys didn't know, the industrial piercing is 2 holes in 1. So you're basically getting 2 piercings with 1 jewelry. So he's pushing the needle up to start the second one. Boom, he sticks the needle in. Oh my god. Oh my god. When I tell you up here freaking hurt, literally I was like, this is like the worst pain ever. The top is more sensitive, so I was like, he put it in, I was like, he was like, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. So I know every tattoo shop or whatever has their own prices. So for me, I had to pay $60 for it. I know a lot of people's like $60 expensive, but you have to think about it. You're getting 2 piercings. Like, I can only imagine what your nipple or your penis is, because I know people be into that type of stuff, and girl, I don't want to know all that. So the guy recommended that basically every other day, so 1 time a day, every other day, I clean it with foam, soap foam, but non-scented, with the Q-tip, and then, you know, wash it with water, and that's good to go. This is the one that I got. I got the Dove Soap Foam Sensitive Skin 100% Gentle Cleanser, sulfate free. So this, I still like the bottle. I have so much, because how much do you really need to clean your piercing for every other day? Like, but sometimes like my piercing got so bad that I had to start doing it like every day, or maybe 2 times a day, because my piercing was bleeding like so much. Like, I don't know if like, you know, that's normal, but like I had so much blood that if I didn't clean my ear, like I'm going to school with blood in my ear. Like I remember one time I was in school and my friend was like, your ear is mad red. Like, it looked like blood's dripping. And I have like dried up blood throughout my ear, and like, you know, because that was the day where he says every other day. So I cleaned it the day before. So the next day, I didn't clean it. But like, you know, I didn't realize, like, be aware of that. It's gonna be a lot of blood, very bloody. And yeah, I'm sorry for y'all people who don't like blood, but it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Now, healing. Baby girl, baby girl, baby girl. Healing is up. So it's only been 6 months because we're at the end of March right now. When I first got the piercing, it was bleeding every day, always bleeding and whatnot. So it started to slow down, like the bleeding. So it kind of stopped after, like, I lied because there was another factor to why I was bleeding. So it kind of stopped. I know sometimes in the middle of the night, I would roll over to the other side and I would wake up screaming because I'm like, oh my God, I just like press my piercing so hard, and then boom, I start bleeding. So the piercing is just like so sensitive, like you really have to be careful with it. But I had so many problems. So many freaking problems. So my mom was combing my hair one time, and you know, I guess not realizing, boom, her nails gets caught in my piercing, and I start screaming. I'm like, bro, you just like, and it was new. It was only like the 3rd week that I had my piercing, so obviously it's still sensitive. I was like, oh my God. Then my boyfriend, we're play fighting, and then he goes and like pushes my head, and like, I guess, you know, not realizing my piercing is there. I'm like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? 3rd time, one of my friends, Juice, you guys probably know him from like 2 of my vlogs. If you're watching this, I'm coming back for you. So we're play fighting or whatever, like, you know, we're not like serious or whatever, but we're play fighting, and he's in the back seat because we're fighting over the aux. He comes from the back seat and smacks me like this, but like not smacking my face, he's smacking like, you know, the side of my head. Not realizing that's the side of my piercing. So boom, my ear starts bleeding in the car, and that was like the 3rd month that I had my piercing. My ear starts bleeding again out of nowhere. I'm like, oh my God. So the 4th time was, guys, girls, I'm so sorry, but I was getting a wash and set for my hair. So my hairstylist, bro, I was just like in so much pain because I'm sitting here getting my hair washed. So the whole time I'm like this. She's like, mommy, you have to move your hands. And I'm like, no, because my piercing, no. She's like, okay. So basically, every time I was getting a wash and set, I couldn't get like, they didn't really clean this much of like my hair. Like, obviously the water got wet, but like, they couldn't scrub it because I was so afraid if they hit me or anything, like, you know, I just didn't want any problems. So then I'm under the dryer. It didn't really bother me. So my stylist was blowing my hair out, and oh my God, this probably has to be the top one. She's like, you know, she's combing and blow drying, and I'm holding my ear, and she was like, you don't have to hold it no more. I'm not gonna hit you or anything. I'm done with that section. You know what she did? She starts blowing and combing. Boom, the comb gets stuck in my ear, and like when I mean stuck, I mean stuck. Like, she had, I don't know what she did, but my hair got, like, my hair's in the comb, my piercing's caught to the comb, and then she's like in the middle of blow drying, and I'm like, oh my God, please stop. Like, you know, I had to go to the bathroom, take the comb out, untangle from my ear. It was like the worst experience ever, and my ear starts bleeding. That like really like blew my, like that really like messed my ear up so bad. So I'm telling you guys that because all those scenarios you have to avoid. All the pressure on my ear, you know, fracturing it, damaging it, whatever, and why I started to get keloids. So the first time I get a keloid on the bottom of the inside, because you can get keloids from the inside to the outside of your ear. So, you know, I'm not too worried about it. It's just one keloid, whatever. Boom. 2 weeks later, get one on the back. And she was like, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to pop it, because you know you could pop keloid. That day she tries to pop it and like it just wasn't working. Put hydroperoxide on it, and I think that's what kind of messed my ear up at the same time too, because you know that it just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm just like, I don't know what to do. So like 4 days later, I wanted to see, like, without touching it, I didn't clean it or anything, I just wanted to leave it alone to see if anything's gonna happen, and it kept getting bigger. So I went back to my piercer and he did a checkup. So he was like, okay, what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to drain the keloid. So basically he takes a needle like you're piercing your ear again and start piercing holes in the keloid. So he put 2 holes, and then he basically just starts pressing like all the blood and pus that's inside of my ear. So he drained both of the keloids, because I told you guys it was in the front and the back. So he's draining the hole. Just woke up one day, I'm like, okay, I'm about to go clean my ear, and I'm just like, what the f? Like, why me? So boom, at the moment, the 2 keloids on the bottom, they were still there. Like, they weren't as big like they used to. They were like small, little. So they were still there though. So at this moment, I have 4 freaking keloids. 4 keloids on my ear. I decided to search up what to use for piercing bumps or piercing keloids and all this and that. So a lot of videos were like, use tea tree oil. My piercing started to get better once I was using tea tree oil. So the bottom 2 keloids went away. And I'm like, wow. It took about, when I was using tea tree oil, it took about 3 weeks for them to fully go away. But my top, they were still there. It wasn't working, it wasn't getting any smaller, it wasn't doing no justice. I think the problem was that my hair was down, and I have like little hairs right by my piercing. So even if I brush that back, it's gonna still sit there. So it keeps tying up in my ear. So, you know, I didn't really realize that until my aunt told me, like, Jada, you know, your little hairs keeps tying up into your piercing. So that was kind of like the factor probably why I got keloids on the top of my piercing, and also why it wasn't going away when I was using tea tree oil, because just one day it was just so small, and then boom, it just was gone the next day. I was so freaking happy because I was so close to the 1 month where I was like, I was gonna take it out, because, you know, my grandma was like getting afraid. Like, you know how some people, when they have keloids, it gets so big where like they have to get surgery. Like, I remember one of my cousins, he has like a big, like, he had to get it cut off. Like, it's so big. Even when the keloids are gone, do not put tea tree oil on your ear, because basically I was reading where this girl was putting tea tree oil every day and she started to get bumps. Like, basically they said that if you put too much tea tree oil, you're gonna get a bump there, because it's gonna react like the opposite way, because there's nothing there. The top is still kind of sensitive a little bit, but nothing like to the extreme what I was experiencing. So when I was getting it pierced, when he put, you know, the needle stuff in, that actual process, out of 10, I would say a 5. The actual healing process when it comes to the bleeding, the keloids, the pain, the throbbing, and months of hell, I'll give it a 9. I'm being so serious. I have a high pain tolerance, but I swear to God, this piercing was just, it was just the worst when it came to the healing. I don't have an actual video of me getting the piercing, because at the piercing shop, it's no recording allowed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in my next video.
Late night when you need my love, call me on my cell.